What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder, where we talk all things Marvel and MCU. I'm your host, Warren Thompson, and today we have a lot of exciting news about Thor Love and Thunder, including some awesome new characters that are going to be coming in the film. We have a new look at some Lego sets that offer a really great look at some of the characters coming, and we have a good idea of when to expect that first teaser trailer for Love and Thunder. So a lot of exciting news to break down today. Let's dive into it. And if you're new and you love Marvel, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest videos. So today's news is actually coming straight from Marvel. It's coming from Marvel's website, marvel.com, in which they have revealed new Lego sets to us that offer a lot of information about the movie. Now, Lego leaks are typically pretty common for Marvel movies, so it just kind of looks like Marvel is getting a jump on the gun here and posting it themselves before leaks actually come out, which is really smart on their part. And of course, we're not complaining because we get a better look at the movie, and there are actually some pretty decent reveals here. Now, these aren't actually all Lego. Some of them are Titan Hero series and some of them are FX series, but all offer a much better look at the movie, including some character costumes and some new characters. But let's start with Thor's costume, because he has a brand new outfit and it is really blue. As you can see, it is really different than what we've seen him wear. The last thing we saw him wearing was, well, sweatpants and a hoodie. But before that, in his fight with Thanos, he was pretty much wearing all black and a little bit of silver. Now his suit looks to be completely blue with gold on it. And this is really cool because it looks like Phase 4 seems to be the phase of comic accurate costumes, because this blue and gold suit really resembles the first Thor costume ever designed by Jack Kirby. It's an iconic look and it looks like we're finally getting that on the big screen. And then we get a look at Jane Foster's Thor, who is labeled Mighty Thor on a lot of these toy sets that we'll talk about today. Now, this is who she is in the comics in the Mighty Thor storyline. When she picks up Mjolnir, she becomes the goddess of thunder, the Mighty Thor. So again, sticking to comic accurate things here, and I really love it. Now, her outfit isn't 100% comic accurate like when they first introduced the Mighty Thor, but it looks actually pretty dang good. It looks a little bit more modern, which obviously, of course, in the MCU, you could expect that. And we actually get a much better look at both of these costume designs on some other toys that are released. We have Mjolnir, Mighty FX Mjolnir, and a Stormbreaker. On Stormbreaker, we get a better look at Thor's costume on the right there with official promo art that they're using. We can see the suit really is blue and gold. It's got a ton of gold on it. And for Jane Foster's, we can get a better look at her suit here as well. It looks to be silver and like a reddish brownish color. But we get a pretty good look at her helmet here, which is going to be awesome to see her wear. And we also see that Mjolnir is repaired, but it is still cracked. And even the toy itself looks pretty cracked. So yes, Mjolnir will be rebuilt, but it looks like it might have some flaws in it. Now, speaking of comic accuracy, the Mighty Thor is a story where Jane Foster does become Thor, but she has cancer. And ultimately, every time that she picks up the hammer and transforms into the Mighty Thor, her cancer gets worse. And we know, because Taika Waititi has revealed this to us, that this is going to be somewhat of the same storyline we're going to get in Thor Love and Thunder. Jane Foster is going to have cancer. So I'm sure, much like in the comics in the MCU, becoming Thor might not be the best thing for her, so we'll have to see where the story goes. Now, here's something that I am super excited about, and I think a lot of people are really going to love this. We have our first Lego set reveal, and Marvel.com is calling it the Goat Boat, which is a Viking boat that is actually pulled by two goats. And this is something that I am super excited to finally see in the MCU. Thor's two goats, Toothgnasher and Toothgrinder. In the comics, Thor can summon both of these goats at will. He can also dismiss them at will, and they pull his mystical chariot. Of course, Thor can fly with his hammer, but Toothgnasher and Toothgrinder can travel anywhere within all of the realms. They also help Thor transport things because yes, he can fly with his hammer, but he can't exactly carry a lot. But these aren't just your average goats. They're the goats of goats. They actually have powers themselves. One, they kind of eat everything, including people. They both possess super strength, and they can actually damage Mjolnir. That's how strong they are. And like I mentioned, they can travel through all of the realms at very high speeds, and they can do this on land or simply through space. So yes, they can fly. And if we look at this picture of this Lego set, it does look like they are pulling this Viking ship through space. It actually looks like they are traveling through different dimensions. If you can see all of the lights behind the ship here, it definitely looks like it's space travel, or it could actually be dimension travel. And since the multiverse is being introduced a month before this movie comes out in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, who knows where they're going. But you can see both goats at the helm there pulling the ship. And on the back of the boat here, we can actually see Thor fighting Gorr. In this set, the characters that are included, as said on the box, are the Mighty Thor, which is Jane Foster, Thor, which is, our normal Thor, King Valkyrie is what it says here, and of course she is the King of Asgard now. Not Queen, but King. Korg, of course, is back, as expected and hoped for. And then there is Gorr, the God Butcher. Now, what's really interesting about this is that if you look closely enough, we can see on the front of the ship, it says Aegir, Asgard, Thors. Now, there's two parts to this that make it really, really interesting. One is the first part, Aegir. Now, this is probably the name of the boat. And it makes sense because in Marvel Comics, Aegir was the god of the seas. Pretty much like Neptune, except this is the Norse god, Aegir. So it would make sense that they named their ship after the god of the sea, but it also says Asgard Thors. Now, remember, Asgard is now on Earth, and people are aware of Asgardians because Thor is actually quite famous. We found this out during Thor Ragnarok in the beginning, where people came up to him and asked to take his picture. And they also knew that Thor and Jane broke up, so Thor is kind of a celebrity. So it would make sense that people would actually go to Asgard to kind of be tourists there. And it looks like Asgard has kind of embraced it a little bit. After all, they're probably going to need a little bit of money at least. So that would probably be a pretty decent way of making money, giving tours. Now, all of this is fantastic. It's great to learn a lot about this movie, and this also means that the trailer shouldn't be that far away. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness comes out a month before Thor Love and Thunder. And they gave us the first teaser trailer for Multiverse of Madness about 5 months before the movie is actually coming out. And that is kind of where we're at right now with Thor Love and Thunder. We're about 5 months away because it comes out July 8th of 2022. So we're actually less than 5 months away from the release of Thor Love and Thunder. Now, if you combine that fact with the fact that Marvel is now officially releasing things like this, toys, Legos, official art for the movie, this means that promotion for Love and Thunder is about to ramp up. This is an extremely good sign that they're getting ready to release that trailer. And we just got the big promotion for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. They released the full official trailer during the Super Bowl, or I should say before the Super Bowl. But that was the one thing that it looked like Marvel Studios was waiting on, because they weren't going to give us a trailer for Love and Thunder before we got the official one for Doctor Strange. But we have that now. Promotions are beginning to start, and we have less than 5 months until the movie comes out. So I would expect the first teaser trailer relatively soon. If Marvel sticks to the same thing they've been doing, we hopefully get it within a month. But as always, if I hear anything about when to expect that first teaser trailer, I'll of course do a video on it, letting everybody know. In the meantime, let me know what you all think about these new reveals through these new toys. What do you think of the new costumes? And what do you think about Toothgnasher and Toothgrinder coming to the MCU? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe so you can stay up to date on all things relating to the MCU. For live updates, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.